Introducing Boatin. Boatin is completely bilingual and the perfect way to improve your Gaelic skills. A game of strategy between cops and robbers, Boatin is the fun way to learn about Ireland. The board shows a map of Ireland, giving an idea where each town is in relation to each other, and some of the amazing things that you can see and do there. As you chase around the island, each card gives a fascinating insight into our towns and villages. You will learn about ancient traditions, language, villages, castles, arts and crafts, and read about them in English and your ever-improving Gaelic. How to play. Choose who will be the police and who will be the robbers. One player is the police, all other players are robbers. Boatin is at its most exciting with 1 police and 5 robbers. The police act as the banker and uses the money as shown on the cards. There can be up to 5 robbers and 1 police, although the police can get 2 extra recruits later. If there are only 3 players available, an exciting option is to have 1 police player and the other 2 playing 2 robbers each. Although they are played totally independently, these 2 robbers can be played as a strategic partnership against the other 2 robbers and the police. Robbers. The robbers start at the bar in Galway as pedestrians and the police in Cavan. The purpose of being a robber is to accumulate enough cash to buy the key to the speedboat moored in the port of Cork or the harbour in Kilcomin and escape. Both the police and your fellow robbers will try to prevent this happening. Money is obtained by stealing from houses marked with a red spot. A blue spot gives the robber the opportunity to take a trail, use a rowboat on a river or meet the fence. Only a pedestrian can use a rowboat or take a trail, this will be explained later. Landing on a red robbery spot gives the robber the opportunity to rob the house and take a card. They must then follow the instructions on the consequences card. If your robber card shows a 6 on the signpost, you will see 2 options. If you have to go to the Court of Dublin, the die is thrown, and the robber follows the instructions in the table of consequences. If a robber lands on any spot already occupied by a fellow robber, they can take half of their money and steal their boat key, if they have one. To cash in your fence cards, you must visit a fence, where the die is thrown, and the instructions followed. Multiple cards can be cashed at the fence at the same time. You must throw a single die separately for each card. The robber can choose to refuse the fence offer and take the refused card to a different fence and try again. The fence pays you for the things that you have stolen. He will also sell you a car for 3,000 shamrock. You will now no longer be a pedestrian, which has many advantages. The escape boat key costs 10,000 shamrock in cash, or 5,000 shamrock plus a car in part exchange. Remember, if you have part exchanged your car, you will be on foot now and can only throw 1 die. You will learn about this in the moves chapter. Only use the car in part exchange if you are confident in reaching the escape boat jetty without getting arrested by the police or having the card stolen by a fellow robber. To escape, the exact number must be thrown to land on the jetty spot. Police. The police start in Cavan and their purpose is to have all the robbers in Carcellaria prison at the same time. The police cannot use the footpaths or boats because their cars cannot pass. The police arrest robbers by landing on the same spot. The robber immediately goes to the court in Dublin and throws the die to discover their fate. When the police lands on a police station spot, they can try to throw a 6. Only a single die is thrown. With a 6, the robber of choice is taken to the courthouse in Dublin immediately. The robber throws a die to receive the sentence. The police can remain on the police station spot for a maximum of 3 single throws to try and throw a 6 or continue to move normally. This is useful because the police get 3 chances to capture the robbers that are far away. If after the robber receives their sentence from the court and the police think the sentence is too lenient and wrong, they can choose to immediately rearrest the robber for a different crime and go to the judge again. The new sentence is decided by a throw of a single die by the police and the robber concerned. If the robber loses, they go immediately to prison in Carcellaria and miss 3 moves. If the robber has the higher number, they receive 1,000 shamrock compensation and are free to leave on their next turn. When the robber is in prison, on their turn, they can continue to throw the die and sell contraband to fellow prisoners. A die showing 1 rewards 100 shamrocks, a 2, 200 shamrocks, up to a 6 which gains 600 shamrocks. Each time the police has a successful conviction, they receive a police card. With 3 police cards, a new recruit joins the force. This second police can start from any police station in the Emerald Isle. If 3 more conviction cards are collected, Police 3 is recruited and likewise can start from any police station. If the police has not collected all 3 cards for a new recruit and loses a court case with not guilty, or the robber wins a courthouse throw of the die and their 1,000 shamrock compensation, 1 police card is lost. Moves. Choose who will be cops and who will be robbers. 1 player is the police, all other players are robbers. Boating is at its most exciting with 1 police and 5 robbers. As I mentioned before, 2 more police recruits can join after you have secured convictions in the court. The police acts as the banker and uses the money as shown on the cards. To start the game, each player throws the die. The player with the highest number throws first and the play moves thereafter in a clockwise direction. It does not matter where the police sits around the board. The police start in the town of Cavan. They are in a police car. The robbers start in the pub in Galway. The robber starts the game as a pedestrian. The robber throws a single die and can move in either direction as a pedestrian. Only a pedestrian can use the shortcut footpaths or riverboats. The police throw the single die twice as they are in a car from the start. Each die counts as a separate throw and can be moved in either direction. When you have recruited a second police, the 2 police die throws now apply to either police, thereby making the police force more effective. Each die counts as a separate throw and is used for either police and can be moved in either direction. When you have a third recruit, the 2 police throws then apply to all 3 police cars. There can be a maximum of 3 police. That is, you can use throw 1 for either police 1, 2 or 3, and similarly, you can use throw 2 for either police 1, 2 or 3. Although the robber starts the game as a pedestrian, they can buy a car from the fence and have 2 throws of the die. A car can be bought for 3,000 shamrock anytime the robber lands on the fence spot if they have enough money. As with the police, each throw counts as a separate throw, and the robber car can be moved in either direction. A car gives the robber the opportunity to move around the board faster, thereby giving more opportunities to rob the houses and collect wealth. A house can be robbed and a car taken after each throw. To avoid capture or being mugged, and the robber wants to use a footpath or river boat to escape, the car must be left on the blue entry spot. From the other end of the footpath or river, the robber can continue to move around the board as a pedestrian, but is now reduced to only 1 throw of the die. If the police land on the blue spot where the car was abandoned, the car is confiscated and leaves the board. If a fellow robber lands on that spot, they can steal the car and use it or sell it back to the fence for 2,000 shamrock. This money can be received immediately, without visiting the fence blue spot. On the other hand, if that second robber is still a pedestrian, they can exchange their pedestrian piece for the car piece in their color, and enjoy 2 throws of the die from that point. From the other end of the footpath or river, the escaping robber continues to move as a pedestrian, but can now have only 1 throw of the die. On accumulating another 3,000 shamrock, the robber can buy another car from the fence when landing on the fence blue spot. To remind you, for the police to win, all the robbers must be in prison at the same time. For an individual robber to win, they must obtain the boat key and get to the escape jetty in Cork or the harbour in Kilcomin before being mugged by a fellow robber or arrested by the police. Remember, the exact number must be thrown to land on the jetty spot. Good luck.